Hey everybody, my name is Jeff Edwards and this is EDL 854, Building Finance, and this is my intro to Module 1. So a little bit about me. I'm originally from Marysville, Kansas, where I grew up. I met my wife when I went to Bethany College, where we were both in the education program and we're both college athletes. We've now been married over 22 years. I have two daughters. Clara is 19 and Lily is 13, and they're both actively involved in athletics. Claire just started her sophomore year at the University of South Dakota, where she's a pitcher, and we travel with Lily all over the nation playing basketball and volleyball, and that's what we did all summer there. On the professional side, I graduated from Bethany College in 2001, earned my master's degree in education from Baker University in 2008. I've been a teacher and coach for the past 22 years in Osage City and Clay Center, Kansas, respectively. And currently, as of about a month ago, I'm the principal at Lynn Schools, USD 223. Lynn is a pre-K through 12 school with about 188 students. And yeah, it's been a crazy month, but been an exciting time to start a new adventure. So in this module, we're going to be taking a critical analysis of the recurring themes that were in our readings for Module 1, and we're going to take a look at school-level governance, student and adult success and well-being, data-informed decisions, equitable resource plans, finance laws, policies, and regulations, and finally, I'm going to look at some of the challenges that I uncovered as I read about this. So on the school-level governance side, they mainly talked about two different approaches when they're talking about finance for a district. The first one is the centralized approach, where decisions are made by the individuals or a small group in the system. This is something they look to do because it helps districts control the cost, efficiency, and overall operations of the school. The centralized operations have a specific system for purchasing, the process of purchasing, and how everything gets billed. And they found that this is effective, but can be a one-size-fits-all approach, and it may not address the unique needs of a building or of all the buildings in the system. So this is more of the way that that the school I'm at Lynn kind of runs. The superintendent oversees everything, and we haven't had the conversation about finance just yet, and I'm sure that'll come down the road as I continue working. And the other one was decentralized or site-based management, and in this they trust the ones that best understand the needs, and they would have the authority to make decisions. So the principal and the people in charge of the school. This method focuses on meeting specific needs of the school and the students that are in the school. Resources are allocated to individual sites, and it creates a pool for R&D to test the new strategies. So your staff is involved in the new strategies, and then you can allocate the funds needed as you see fit. And it drives a service-based culture in which the central services are desired based on the quality. And finally, it allows for alignment of goals with financial resources. So this is looked at as a positive because the principals and the people that are in the school and know the needs of the school have a little bit more say in the finances as you go along through the year. So the student and adult success and well-being with proper funding, this was covered in multiple sources, but one that I really liked was it discussed the aggregate per pupil spending increases student outcomes in every situation with proper funding. So even a little bit of funding seems to help out, and that's what it says in the next one. Even small levels of spending increases showed improvements in test scores and graduation rates. If you went even further and properly funded, such as a 21% increase of a school, it can eliminate the education attainment gap between children from low income and non-poor families. So that 21% increase for some of the schools in need really showed a significant improvement in their educational achievement. Proper funding allows for smaller class sizes, which correlates to student success. So if you've got more funds, you can hire more teachers. Increases in teacher pay have been proven to benefit students as well, because the student or the schools are able to hire and retain highly effective teachers if they're getting adequately paid for. And properly funding schools in high poverty areas must be a priority, because this has to benefit the students' success and well-being, and it also provides with the opportunity to succeed and continue to contribute to the society as adults. So this addition in funding as the students are in school is going to lead to adult success as well. Next, we looked at the data-informed decisions. So one of the areas I looked at is where the funding comes from. So school funding, only 8% of our funding comes from the federal side, which I covered in another class, but to me that seems like a very small amount. But the state funding makes up 48% of that, and local funding is the other 44%. And what are we using our funds for? Well, there's operational funding for things like your electricity, your plumbing, transportation. You've got your staffing for all employees, professional development, and things like that. And then you've also got funding for programs such as curriculum, resources, and school activities. So equitable resource plans, some of the steps that were covered in the reading were, number one, principals must understand the financial limitations and flexibility of the school. They need to set goals and formulate the right financial management strategies. And all of these duties require the consideration of factors such as available school resources, background, and the needs of the students. Number two, second step would be establish procedures by regularly approving and revising the school budget as needed. Ensure that spending is directed toward the school development plan and that all procedures follow state and local laws. Number three, you need to review and analyze procedures for handling income and expenditures, as well as rule on the acceptance of advantages and other financial management criteria and procedures. They suggest you consider hiring an accountant for advice and overseeing of actions, because many of the principals in this role may not have that necessary background. And finally, number four, report and solicit feedback from all necessary stakeholders to make this effective. So you would bring a lot more people into the equation to make sure that the needs are being met for the school. Finance laws, policies, and regulations. Some of the ones that were covered were ESSA, which is a program that replaced NCLB, which ensures that public schools provide a quality education for kids. ESSA gives states more of a say on how the schools account for the student achievement. This includes the achievement of disadvantaged students. Title I program is federally funded, a program which provides money to local districts to improve academic performance of low-income areas and families. Every school that I've been at has been a Title I school, so I'm familiar with this program and the funding that comes with it. English language acquisition offers money to schools with students that do not speak English as a first language to help them learn English and improve proficiency on statewide examinations. So the school that I'm at in Lynn has a population of about 30% of our students are Spanish-speaking students. And so I'm learning a whole lot more about this as I go. Reading First is a program that provides federal money to help schools implement robust reading programs that utilize scientific-based research to support their success. The IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, allots money to schools to help students with disabilities and to get a quality education in the public school system by providing them with the resources they need to be successful. And then finally, the Improving Teacher Quality Grants offers money for teachers' training and development programs within local schools and districts. Some of the challenges that showed up as I was reading is that researchers have long argued that principals should have more control over how money is spent in their buildings because they are in a better position than central office staff to make spending decisions. But this is not the feelings of everyone. Some principals don't want those added responsibilities given everything else that they are already juggling. I can see this in my instance, a pre-K through 12 building. It seems like there's stuff going on all the time. But also, this is my first year, so there is everything going on all the time because I'm learning everything. Some principals are already feeling overwhelmed and don't have the additional staff to handle the extra time that it would take to effectively manage the budget as well. And also, much of the money that flows from the school district to the school has strings attached. that do not allow principals a lot of flexibility at the school level. So some of the challenges would be, being trained and understanding what to do, and then also finding time to be effective at what you were doing here. Here are some of the references that I used as we went through this course or through this module. And in closing thoughts and the reflection after doing this work, I said, as I look to the future as a building leader, which is now, I will use this content, knowledge, and past experience to further my understanding of school finance and our school systems. I have honestly never considered the amount of influence a building leader should have with the school budget. I'm currently in my first month as a building leader, and I will use this information to discuss with my superintendent the school district's approach to building finances and what my expected role will be. I now understand the importance of funding for staffing, resources, and programs. I need to make data-informed decisions which will help guide my school in the best direction possible in terms of finances. One concern that I have as a new building principal is will I have the background knowledge to be an effective budgeter? I've always personally excelled at saving money, but carrying money over in the schools from year to year is not a good practice. So I look forward to learning throughout this course and hopefully answering a lot of my questions. Thank you very much.